wetin they do. Shey you no
I
know say
think
na him
I think
suppose
we're
create
live.
lobby.
I think we're live.
You think or we are live?
Your team is banned.
Uh, okay.
Your team is attacking.
Yeah, we should be live.
We should be or we are.
Yeah, we are live.
Baby, don't say a
Leave
word.
am, leave am, make it the make you no know which one e be.
Let's go.
Okay, welcome to the stream, everyone. Apologies for starting in the middle of the draft. Our referee seems to have no clue that he should ask before he starts the game. But yeah, as usual, we're joined here by my fellow co-hosts or co-commentators. Emmy, say hi to the
Your
audience.
team is picking.
Hello guys, good evening and welcome to the stream. And as usual, we have the trio, the best trio here. We have Stu, we have me, and then we have Black Matter. Black Matter, say hi.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Good evening, everyone. And if you're just tuning in, trust me, tonight is definitely going to be something worth seeing. And thanks for having me on the stream, Stu.
Yeah, thanks for being here with us. Well, right off the bat, we are actually seeing no Kimi ban. Is actually going to be a Kimi pick here from Fade Wife, and followed by a Lapu Lapu and Joy pick. If you followed the series with Xenagog versus Shinigami, you would see how much Glaze Bonds and that Joy was actually able to accomplish here. But Emmy, so far, what do you think about this draft that you're seeing?
I can't really come to a conclusion yet, but I like the fact that I'm seeing a Lapu because he got a recent buff, and he's way more effective in team fights right now. And we have a Joy here responded with a Link and an Irritor. And then a Fasa. You know, the draft can go any person's way right now because the three picks coming from both teams are quite okay. And we have a band coming in from Oasis right now.
Hi, Tata, and hi, Just K. It's nice for you guys to actually say hi as well. So I'm going to respond to that. Okay. So far, you can see the lineup on El Cartels here. You can see they are going for DPS. I mean, you've got one of the best mid lane DPS, Fasa. You've also got one of the best gold lane DPS, Irritel, and then one of the best assassins with high mobility and stuff. So El Cartels are not joking, and they are not coming here to smile. And, you know, they want to show the people that voted for them on the poll on WhatsApp that, okay, you voted well. And also on Oasis as well. You know, I really think they should go for, you know, a tank here. I think they should settle for a tank rather than a support because they already have, you know, the only frontliner here they have right now is Frau. So they want to go for something much better. But what are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, I would actually second the fact that they should go for some more of a frontline tank or roam hero here. But I'm actually surprised to see a Beleric pick. This is not. I think maybe is this a debut pick on stream? Because I don't think we've seen Belerics in the Gauntlet so far, and it's actually up against the Link and an Irritel. I don't know if that was kind of the logic so that the Irritel will end up like killing herself with the damage from by the Tauns. But actually we're seeing an Angela pick here from Conquest, and they are gonna have a solo frontline Ruby. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I'm gonna actually have to go with the side of Oasis in this draft. But what do you think, Emmy?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they're picking Angela, but that Link better be godly because that's the only person that she can be ulting and can be disrupting the whole backline of Oasis, taking down the Beatrix and the Kimi. And if they are not able to do that, then they are going to have a hard time, with the early game and into the mid game. And then from the late game, they may have a chance, but I don't think Oasis will give them enough time to do all of that. So let's see. And like you said, I would totally drift towards Oasis draft right now. I don't know what's going on with the Angela pick, but it's El Cartel. They always surprise us, with plays and magical things. So let's expect something from them.
Yeah, let's hope that that's a surprise, like you said, Emmy, because the Angeling is actually a very popular thing in the esports, in the big scene, in the M series. So it's something that is not really surprising to me, but I really want to see how Onyx will execute this, because Daiki is definitely want to, going to want to zone them out once those turtle dances and those lord dances start. And don't forget, that of Dryad and the taunts that come from that Bellric is no joke. So I really want to see how El Cartel want to maneuver this situation. Hopefully Cheesy really knows what he's doing, because he's not on the Fredrin here. He's on the rhetoric. But then again, that's just my thoughts too.
But like you also have to acknowledge how good the combo is of an Angela and an Iritel, especially when the Iritel, pops that sprint, gets that movement speed boost, and then you're trying to tear away from her, but she's not only fast enough, she has an Angela that's slowing you down. But yeah, still, it's just the law of lacking frontline. It's all gonna fall down to the player's execution. And right now we can see actually Fade Wife on Kimmy here. It looks like he was trying to go for a rotation to the XP lane, but he's gonna cut that out and start clearing, helping his Joy clear that jungle. But Emmy, what do you think? What are your bets for the first turtle fight here? We did have the Emmy course in the previous series, the last time that you were here about that. Yeah, tell us what are your predictions?
I think Cheesy has a bit of an advantage when it comes to retry against the Joy, because he will be able to use his ult and he'll be immune within that period, and then he might just be able to tap the turtle. But let's see what's going to happen. I don't know. We have a bit of a slow match here, and we have okay.
Yeah. Just trying to get the bits of Joy in. They will get immobilized their conquest really low. But the turtle will be contested death smile, using that Leonin crystal to get more dashes in, perhaps preparing that electrifying beat. But there's a slight skirmish up top. Frau really trying there, using the Justice Blaze on Super Saiyan, but the turtle is almost taken out. Another strike comes out, but TZ will snag that first one. Pulse will get Super Saiyan as he goes down to Frau. There's the first blood. The hard guard comes in. Devil's Blade, Defiant Sword. But Smile will get out of that one there. There's an engagement there. Justice Blades with the Jungle Warrior Frau. The hard guard comes down. Cheesy will forfeit that engagement. And, well, they've gotten the objective, so it's really not worth it at this point, Stu.
Yeah, you can really see the communication coming in from the side of El Cartel here, where Void Archer is actually pairing the Feather Air Strike with those Temple of Eight. But see, there's a fight in the mid lane.
Ooh, burns! The cost of Crow when the Feather Air Strike, the mobilized their feud wife will flicker out just before he could get taken out. A really close on that piece of Joy comes, electrifying beats of Conquest. Conquest will fall to Smile. A very Brian take out the defense, so Cheesy will steal the lethal there. Cost of Crow used, but he nearly falls. If a blade comes out, Smile will fall to the Defiant Sword. Super Hatred uses the heavy crossbow on Frau. Frau uses the previous fighter to get out of there. Landshaker connects onto two. Traction Force comes in. Defiant Sword, Storm Sword, Raging Slash, takes out Super Saiyan. Fearless Strike comes in. Daki losing a lot of HP there, but the wings by wings from Super Hatred will get from Void Hacker will get him out.
The engage and disengage coming in from the Kimi is really, really annoying. I mean, we have Iritel here out rotating Verns and coming into the mid lane to try and help his team, but he was shot down in the process, and we have a gank up here on Link.
Yeah, Cheesy. The Finch voice is there for him, though. There was just one thing about the Leonin Crystal. You can't actually dash on top walls. You can only dash through them. So that's one advantage there with the Link mechanics there, Stu.
Yeah, I feel like you could just see the I keep saying this about the Kimi, and it's not just about her damage, it's the engaged potential of her ultimate. Super Hatred actually coming in and trying to get more for his team in that fight, but it looks like, okay, no, he's gonna break out. And the ultimate from Fade Wife actually just caught them, both of them there, and it just tipped the favor inside of Oasiss.
No, Smile will get that turtle there, looking for the electrifying beat there. The Wrath of Trial comes out, turns to Traction Ball, finds Super Saiyan. Frau will get that killing spree there, but Cheesy still farming here, not interested in committing to that one. Conquest, the hard guard is ready, but Cheesy isn't. The Finch Boy comes out, the Defiant Sword as well. Tempest of Blade will use the hard guard is used on Cheesy. The Defiant Sword will find Daiki in that tier 1 on the mid lane, but Cheesy will disengage. Frau there with the Jungle Warrior. but not willing to commit there. Cheesy rotating up top there, but the tier 1 falls before he could get there. Frau with Justice Blades, but not willing to commit as well. Cheesy still with the Divine Sword here. They just might commit to that one, but no, they will disengage still.
Yeah, I mean, we can just see the amount of reliance that they have right now on this Link Angela combo. Cause ooh, well, looks like there's a kill in the bottom lane. We just missed that, but yeah, like I said, they can just see that they are very reliant on this Link Angela combo to convert. They have a total of 2 kills now, both of them which came from Cheesy, and looks like there's a fight in the mid lane.
And the fight up top will flicker out of the Wrath of Dryad with wings by wings, but Ferns will find that tier 1 on the mid lane there. There's a rotation up top by Frau, wanting to get that Pincer strategy in, just camping. The Homeland Defender is ready, the shield is there, but he's unwilling to commit as well. It's outnumbered though. You can see the positioning here on Cheesy. Super Saiyan trying to come in to push that minions up top. Be good, used on Frau. Cheesy will come in to support. Don't Run Wolf King gets the stun in. Cheesy prioritizing the objective right now, but back on the mid lane, Void Hacker, wings by wings, gets out of Daiki's range, and they will contest for the turtle now still.
Yeah, it looks like this turtle is coming up, but I would like to hear from Emmy what he thinks about this. Oh, but it looks like another fight might be breaking out here.
He might be breaking out. Bennett's rage comes in from Ferns, but they will prioritize the turtle here. TC with the Finch Boys. The hard guard comes on him. Tempest of Flame comes out as well. Hard guard, the Bruce Punch. Look at him out. Frau with Reggie Slash. But Smile finds TC, and Frau there, not willing to commit to that one anymore. He has used the Reggie Slash. Landtaker doesn't find anyone. They just split with the Jungle Warrior. Gets out. The turtle has been taken already, as both teams will disengage, Emmy.
I think we can see the fact that I was not comfortable with the Angela pick. We can see it playing out here. They don't have a front line to be able to deal with what is coming in from the Lapu or from the Balearic, and then there's a lot of damage coming in from the Kimi and then from Verns. And we have a gank here.
Better than strike.
Oh.
Up top! He goes down! Conquest! Wow, that was a very beautiful one there. I didn't really catch the entire team, but damn. I mean, this Link is probably going to have to do without him for at least 8 seconds still.
Yeah,
I don't know. Go ahead, Steve.
I mean, you can see them recall spamming in the mid lane. Like, they're just having the best game of their life here. Facing up against a solo Ruby frontline. Like, this isn't like a tank experience laner, like something like a Hylos, or maybe even the Phobios that has that damage sustain CC. Like, this is a Ruby. She thrives off spell vamp, and she's not one to take a burst of damage.
I think they're asking for pause right now. I don't know. Probably the ref is not seeing that. They're asking for a pause in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, they are asking for a pause.
I think
but they're actually using the wrong emotes here. I will say this again, guys. Layla Cry is pause. Thumbs up is restart. And I would actually grant them this pause. Just because
because they used a mixture of the two emojis, so I think we can grant them. I don't know, probably the referee is not seeing that, or he has slept off, or I don't know. But
but like as
likely possibility.
No, go ahead, Black Martin.
Yeah, a likely possibility, but can we just talk about how that Heartguard is pretty much saving Cheesy up there, and then really deciding his engages. You can see that Cheesy is kind of pretty hesitant to engage unless that Heartguard comes in, because if that Heartguard isn't there, he's pretty much sitting ducks once Verns and Frau is on top him.
Yeah, he's very dependent on the Angela's Heartguard, and that's what I said. I mean, just look at the bot lane right now. We have Link there trying to push to the turret there, and Joy is probably trying to catch up with him and stop him from doing all of that, because they don't have a single turret pushed in from El Cartel side, and they are behind on good like 5k right now. So I don't know how they are going to hold on. I mean, the Heartguard is going to be a lot of problems.
continuing the game here, and it looks like we're gonna see how the first Lord take goes here in this series.
Definitely, we're gonna see that. But the Lord dance has already started here. You can see Cheesy there with the Finch boys just being gentle there. The Heart Guard is available, already trying to mark him now. Conquest. But we'll know this engagement there. The Heart Guard comes in, a bit of a wasted resource there. Cheesy will disengage, really forcing him to commit there. But Cheesy not wanting to. But the Heart Guard is now wasted. A bit of a blunder, a big resource spent by El Cartel. But Daiki here knows that he has the advantage right now, really trying to zone them out. But El Cartel will focus on the wave clears instead. You can see the positioning on Cheesy here, rotating down bottom as he has given up on the on the Lord, and Oasis will take that one for themselves.
I don't really see a chance of a comeback from El Cartel right now. I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, Cheesy went down bots to try to, exchange the Lord for a turret, but he was not even able to push the turret in. And then the Lord is coming in from the same bot lane that he was not able to push in. And they have a wave crashing up top. And they are going to clear that right now. Let's see if they are going to make sure they don't lose their inhibitors with this Lord coming in. I don't really think Oasis are planning to to use the Lord to break a bit of inhibitor. Maybe they are trying to, sink the waves and all that. But we have a bit of an engager up top.
Yeah, up top Daiki, but then Cheesy just wait. There's a blind side there, but the Finch boys will get him out of that situation there. Prioritizing defending the lanes. That's what you should do. But Conquest having that hard guard ready. Cheesy though, the Lord will be taken down on the EXP lane, or the gold lane rather, and then approaching from the mid as well. Trying to clear the second tier of the mid lane here. Daiki, Fernandez Strike comes in to clear the minions. Though, there's a flicker there. Smile will try to 5-point hacker, but wing by wing saves him. Hardguard already used. Jesus, Tempest Place comes in. The fire sword picks up field wipe. Tries to find one more, but the Finch boys. Ooh, too much. I'm offended. Fight first. With help from Super Hatred there. El Cartel turns the tide. Daiki trying to escape the Ghost Micro. Finds him Cheesy with the fire sword. They take out the tier 1, pushing for the tier 2. As El Cartel wins that trade. It's a 1-for-4 in favor of El Cartel. The electrifying beat comes in, but Smile will fall. Support Haka, the minute strike. It's a wipeout for El Cartel as they push for the ending of the game. But Field Wipe will return, Steve.
Like, you can really see how long they've been waiting for this. All that damage compounding in from the Link, from the Irritel, even from Void Hacker here with those feather their strikes coming in on point to get them low. Cheesy just finishing them coupled with our hard guard, and Oasis felt they were one step closer to their paradise, taking down one inhibitor turret, but it's actually them that are going to be going to a fountain, but not the fountain of life that they expected. But what do you think, Emmy?
I love watching matches like this, or seeing things like this. This high tier gameplay coming in from El Cartel. It's just like whenever you're watching MPL, maybe a team is leading with 10k gold or something. We have an engager on Daiki.
Yeah,
He's able to escape.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whatever, just a single mistake or just a single turnaround can turn the whole thing around. And we have the Lord dance here. They are trying to bust down the Lord.
Yeah, Cheesy has got comes in on him. Tempest of Place as well, trying to close that out. Field Wipe takes him down, runs in the position here. But Cheesy will disengage. The objective has been taken already. Super Hatred there, poking with the Queen's Roar and the heavy crossbow. But they will disengage as the objective have been secured in Oasis' favor.
I think it's quite obvious that even with the hard guard, the Link can only choose to take out either Verns or Fade Wife. He can't take out the two of them. It doesn't have enough damage yet because the damage coming in from Verns is a lot. It can literally four-shot the Link with his basic attacks from the SMG. But he's doing quite well. We have a Engager up top.
Yeah, up top. Fine Smile up there with the hard guard. I mean, he's got options. Like he said, Emmy. But looks like this time around he chose Smile instead of Burns or Fieldwife. But then again, they will try to clear the Lord up top there. Daiki looking for that perfect opening here. But Cheesy, the positioning on Cheesy is quite questionable. He should be defending right now. But there's the Wrath of Dryad. Daunting 3 there. Daiki, then the position. Frau will go down. Penetrate comes in terms of place as well. Defense zone finds Frau. Hardguard comes in. But he wins that crown from Fieldwife and outplayed there. But will be outplayed by Cheesy. It's a 4-for-1. Daiki trying to recall. But the Finch boys is trying to look for him. Cheesy not willing to let him go.
Wrong bush.
Oh, nice wrong push. Daiki will escape as both teams will retreat back for clears.
Wow. I mean, you could
Uh,
just see masterful link gameplay here from Cheesy and the team of El Cartel actually just getting their opponents low enough for Cheesy to be able to reap all that damage. That feathered airstrike from Void Hacker actually just doing so much for them right now because they're trying to push but they can't. They're getting bombed here, and Cheesy, like a Death Reaper with a sight, is coming and tearing through their backlines. But what do you think, Emmy?
This is exactly just as I predicted. I said the 13-minute marker or the, upward from there, the outguard is going to prove as a lot of problem for Oasis, and that is coming true right now because you can't even gank anyone solo. Probably you're trying to pick someone off. The outguard is going to be coming in from Conquest, and then the whole fight is going to be turned around. And before you know it, you're the one running, with your ears touching the back of your head instead of, killing the person that you try to gank. And we have a gank here up top. Cheesy, as
Yeah,
was found.
homeland defender or used on Cheesy there. Frau will gain that shield. They're trying to find him there, but Immobilize does not connect from Fieldwife. Cheesy will get out of there though. He knows that the hard guard is available, but that's a resource you don't want to use because the Lord will spawn in 15 seconds. That's not something that you want to commit to. Frau will check the bushes with the Justice Blaze. They just might find Cheesy though. Ooh, there's the previous fighter there. The homeland defender, Cheesy. But the hard guard is not yet used. Conquest will not take the bait. Cheesy comes in with the Defiant Sword, but the Raging Slash not yet used. The Defiant Sword comes in, taking the 4 place. Frau, get out of there with Jungle Warrior. The hard guard has been used. Conquest takes the bait. And now the Lord contest will start. I really want to see how they maneuver this one, but Oasis just might have the advantage right now with Daiki.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my engagement there. Oh, the wrong Wolf King coming in. Super Saiyan, Wrath of Triad comes in for the back as well. But Haka will secure that one. Finally, one for Elkatan. 2 man. I'm offended. Cheesy finding him there. Super Hatred finds Daiki. Smile trying to get away, but it's slow from being good. It's not making it difficult. Conquest finds the hard guard on Super Hatred. Super Hatred with them offended, trying to chase Fieldwife on first. But they will retreat. The last hope, the last line of threat for this game 1 for Oasis. If they want to defend, this is it. Burns will use Renner right now, trying to get to damage in, but then strike for Flicker there. Point Aka takes Fieldwife. Cheesy finds the person playing, but the defense is not coming through. Nibbler's pressure comes in from Burns. Burns is in taxing the opportunity to get out of there. But El Cartel will show why they are the people's favorites as they take game 1.
Victory!
I would like to give props to the whole El Cartel team because you can see everybody's doing their job, especially Cheesy and Conquest, and then Super Saiyan coming in with that I am offended. The few times that they won their team fights, it was from that I am offended connecting onto 2 or 3 more members of Oasis, and then we have Fight Wife and then Verns at the back, and then Cheesy is just going to be the one handling those ones, tearing them down and breaking them down, and then the rest of them are going to get busted down by Void Aka and Super Hatred, namely Daiki and Smile. And just like I said, they needed time for this particular lineup to work out on the side of El Cartel, and they were able to buy that time, and they were able to wait and make use of the opportunity immediately it came their way. And this is high tier gameplay right here, and I hope they give us this kind of thing, in the game 2, and they don't throw again because they have a history of doing this reverse sweep, throwing up and down. But let's hope that does not happen right now. Still, what do you think?
Yeah, I believe like we could see that I noticed right up to that last Lord that even though that Oasis actually had the lead majority of the early game, it was Cheesy before actually Smile did. So you can just tell that that's just a succession of correct decisions.
So yeah, I actually agree with you because they really tried in that last one. Conquest supported Cheesy very well, and also they also in sense of Oasis tried as well because they secured objective like I think 3 times. Was that three? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they secured objectives, and it wasn't really that much of a big difference, in the later part of the game because at some point El Cartel too started prioritizing objectives on their own sides, and we can see that Cheesy wasn't really prioritizing it much, and for it Hacker to come in there with that Lord Steel with the Feather Strike. I think one of the things that helped Oasis push that much was the objectives they were prioritizing. That's the Lord dances they were winning. So that's what I'll say there. I think objective wise, I really think El Cartel can improve there so that it wouldn't cost them the game.
Uh, Well, they kind of knew they since they lost, from the early game, they couldn't really, go for objectives. It was just widen the lead between them and Oasis, so they kind of stepped back a bit. You can see that Cheesy throughout the first two objectives, he was trying to push a lane, though he was not successful. But with the other team fights that came on later on in the game, they were able to push through the tier one and the tier two turrets, and then they were able to wipe out the team, and then they were able to push all the way to the inhibitor, and then they took two more lords, and they were able to end the game. And I think it's all about biding your time and waiting for the right moment and not being greedy and too upfront. Whenever it was on his Fredrin, he's always very impulsive, but we got a different Cheesy tonight on the link, calculative and on point, and always where he's supposed to be, taking down Fight Wife or Vance or, even Smile sometimes. And, that I'll give a lot of props to him.
Yeah, I do agree though, but let's hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, it seems like I kind of got cut off when I was explaining the last time, but yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
just that. Like they had Cheesy played a very calculated game. Even when he was playing from behind for majority of the game, he was able to get the level ahead of his opponent jungler Smile here. Because I noticed in the last turtle that the last Lords, Cheesy actually had a level 15 while Smile was still on the level 14. So the smart choices that he was making, rotating on the map, those little macro differences was actually what was able to keep him in the game long enough to make that comeback. But yeah, we're seeing right off the bat, we're getting a glue ban. I'm not sure if we might see another Kimi pick here on the side of El Cartel, or they will be banned out by the side of Oasis. But what do you think about the draft so far, Emmy?
I think they would ban the Kimi, to be honest. They don't really want to deal with that kind of problem again. But no, they would go for a Badam pick ban. Probably they're trying to pick the Kimi. But I don't know if Oasis is going to let that go through. I would definitely ban the Kimi right now because, they were able to cause a lot of havoc with it. But the only reason why they lost was because, just like I said, the only reason why they lost was because, El Cartel had the answer to the Kimi and he was the link. And yeah, we have Uranus pick here from El Cartel on Super Saiyan. The last time he picked it, it didn't really perform well, but let's hope today is a different case for them. And then we have my personal most hated hero whenever when it comes to drafting, the Zushin. I don't know what's going to happen here. What do you think, Black Matter?
Yeah, honestly, I think we can see the result of a counter banning here, an attempt at counter banning. I'm pretty sure the reason why the Kimi is down from Oasis is to prevent the use of the Kimi and how problematic that Kimi can be for them. But then again, when you take down, in the name of counter banning, you leave open heroes that could potentially be more problematic. Like for example, they've locked down the juicing in their favor because El Cartel somehow chose the Badang and the glue when the Juicing was open. And still, though, I expected Oasis to actually take down the Angela, even if you can't take down the Link. You can take down the Angela because the Angela was obviously the fuel behind the Link's engine. So I really want to see if there's gonna be a Angela ban from Daiki because he's a roamer and clearly he wants to make his roaming work easy and defending his squishes and making sure that his squishes don't get wiped out while he's at the front line. So let's see what he really bans here, Stu. But that's my take on the draft so far.
Right now, was seeing one of my favorite heroes to play, the Harriet coming out against the Iritel, and I believe that's actually a winning lineup, matchup rather, and we're actually seeing the Zushin, which is. Like, Emmy, Emmy probably knows it all. Like, we can delete this hero from the game. But actually, we smile on that Lancelot, and I think this is going to be a mid lane Gushan, probably like their makeshift answer to the Zushin mid. But yeah, I think this is gonna be an interesting game nonetheless. The Uranus coming out here actually not banned this series, and we're gonna enjoy this. But Emmy, what do you think so far?
I think this match is going to be very interesting. Either this is a troll coming in from El Cartel, or this is going to be a match of the century. Because I am seeing a Gusha media. Definitely, we have seen that there was a time we were testing stream, and then we saw Void Aka on the Gusha mid, which didn't work out well. But hopefully, he has something else in mind. And then we have an Esmeralda pick coming in from Oasis, and then a Darius pick. What is this draft? Am I the only one that has lost it? What's this? Oh,
Definitely a rarity
Love
among
this.
drafts.
World Your team is picking.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Black
Stu.
Matter.
Okay, so definitely a rarity amongst the picks. We this draft is really funny because we can see a Dyrot meet. Oh, is that Dyrot EXP? I don't even know because the red Dyrot has the red tree, and then the Gushon. The Gushon, I think the Gushon is playing mid because the Harriet is probably gonna go lane. And so this is very,
it's
very irregular amongst every other thing that we've
whoa,
seen so
whoa,
far.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, oh, the
No.
Tata special. The
Wow.
Tata special.
Wow. This is gonna be another Uranus jungle game. They picked the Esmeralda to stay toe to toe in a sustained matchup against the Uranus, but it's actually going to be a Dyrot in that XP lane who actually absolutely decimates an Esmeralda pick. So this is peak improvisation and just draft flexibility coming in from the side of Cartel. Whether or not they're going to be able to execute this remains to our imagination and the next few minutes as we watch this game unfold. But on the other side, we actually do have the side of Oasis going. Just I can tell that these are just mainly comfort picks, other than that Esmeralda pick that was picked as a counter to the Harriet and the Uranus. But altogether, this is gonna be a pretty interesting game. I'm absolutely here for it. I'm absolutely loving it. But what are your thoughts, Emmy?
Smash them.
And we can see that this is the power of flex picks. Sometimes you won't know who's going where because a lot of heroes could go in any direction. Gushon could have gone jungle, Darius could have gone EXP or jungle, and then we have the Uranus in the jungle right now. And we have a problem here. The Zushin is already, dealing a lot of damage to the Gushon and causing havoc. Just look at that.
Yeah, I expect
Look at that engagement there. The Petrify. Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Go
think
on,
that is.
I was just
Yeah,
saying I
that was an
expect
engagement
Void
there.
to
The
bronze.
That is a post request coming in from
this is a
Void
pause
Aka.
request. I don't know what this ref is doing right now, but right now this is a hilarious matchup. Seeing this Gushan in the mid lane, I got a bit too excited. Yeah, I have to apologize, Black Matter. But Void to bronze. I would do a giveaway in group if he does bronze. Just so you know. But what do you think, Black Matter?
Yeah, honestly, the Gushan mid is a new concept, especially the fact that it's a rarity and it's something that we don't get to see all the time, like I said. And then the fact that they switched, what actually intrigued me more was the fact that they switched the Dyrot jungle for the Uranus jungle. That was what just mesmerized me there because, whoa, like that's a Tata special we know, but the fact that El Cartel wants to actually execute this, and then they don't actually have a proper marksman and Arit, with the Purifier. I'm pretty sure that's for Juicing, there and probably for Camilla. But the fact that they went for a Harriet gold lane and then they went for a Uranus jungle, I really want to see how this plays out, or probably they're just trolling for a potential game 3. But those are my thoughts so far. Let's hear from you, Emmy.
Personally, the Aris, I'm in favor of the Aris because a good Aris would take almost any as long as he's able to get close enough, and even if he's not able to get close enough, as long as he's able to use his ult to get close to you, he is going to cause a lot of damage and problem in team fights, and they would have to focus on him to try to lock him down for someone to be able to shut him down or something. But yeah. This is going to be a very interesting match. I can already see, I can already see it here in my mind. Different kind of scenarios and gameplays coming from my mind. But let's see what they have for us here. Hopefully, Darius is going to be able to shut down the Esmeralda completely, and then we are going back into the game. All right.
Yeah, you can see a slight engagement there. That's a poke on Cheesy there with the lantern flare. Justin doing what Justin should on Conquest as well, but Cheesy using the Transcendent path and the Ionic Edge to really farm here. But this Void Hacker, there's the Lantern Flare once more, Shadow Blade Slaughter, but the Sword Spike does not find this target. Conquest will try to regen Void Hacker up. More Lantern Flare, more Airborne. Field Wife running out of mana though, has to wait a bit. But the Shadow Blade Slaughter comes out from Void Hacker. It's a slight poke and peel there on the mid lane, Emmy.
Just look at that. Zushin is able to comfortably, without any help, hold back 2 people from El Cartel's team in the mid lane. We have the Camilla coming in here to help.
Yeah, that Daiki, the bloodbath with his stun, but Conquest finding that flicker there just before he could get taken out. Sword Spike will connect, but Yaka finds no! Shadow Blade Slaughter! But a kill is stolen with the Ionic Edge from Daiki, still poking there. Daiki already having the concentration ready, using it for that mobility there to the Turtle Pit. But Void Hacker will still contend for those minion waves. But back there on the EXP lane, Smile with a puncture. But Forest will steal that kill there on the gold lane, as the Turtle will be contested by El Cartel alone.
This is exactly what I'm saying. If Cheesy didn't come into the mid lane, they would have had continuous problem with the Zushin, and we have Void Hacker here trying to eat level 4. He is coming here. Wow.
Yeah, okay. Daiki finds the bloodbath onto Cheesy, but Smile will take that Turtle there. Lantern Flare from Field Wife, but Cheesy knows that it's not worth it to still commit at this point. Smile though, up top there, trying to invade here. Cheesy comes in to confront him. Ionic Edge used on him. Thundros on targetability, gaining that advantage there for the mechanics of the Lancelots, but they will disengage. It's not worth the risk, dude.
I don't know how they're going to deal with this Lancelot retreat battle, because it's going to definitely going to be winning every total battle unless they are able to CC him or stop him or something, and they don't really have a definite CC on their team, so probably they would have a lot of problems, with the objectives and all that. Go on, Stu.
Yeah, like you just said, the Lancelot is actually going to have laughing all the way to the bank with this retreat battle versus Uranus jungle here. And you can see that they realize how much of an advantage Harris actually does have. And they put that focus even before the turtle on that gold lane to give Ven some kind of advantage here, lining up against this Harry. But it looks like there will be no fights. But look what's going on in the mid lane.
He's trying to poke there with the Ionic Edge, but Field Wife will use the Lantern Flare to check the bushes there. He has to be careful of Void Hacker though, because that Shadow Blade Slaughter and that Sword Spike is unforgiving to mages that lack mobility. But back there on the gold lane, Smile with puncture 5-3. Thundros! But the Zaman Force will come out from Super Hatred there. Smile still looking for an opening here. Thundros once again. Phantom Execution comes in, but Super Hatred will get out with a Synchro Potion and the Chrono Dash. Void Hacker right there. Sword Spike, Purify. But the Sword Spike misses. And just the Shadow Blade Slaughter connects. Field Wife will use the waves to escape though. It's not worth that fight there. Daiki comes in. Bloodbath connects onto Void Hacker there with Concussive Blast. But the Airborne Daiki finding Void Hacker on the mid lane. but Cheesy has already started the Lord Dance. One more time, Cheesy starting the Lord Dance. Hopefully wins this one though. Smile is coming to the Lord Pit right now. He might have a difficulty there with the retreat battle. Bomb John Roll still the objective. Cheesy trying to get away with concentration, but back down the mid lane. Super Saiyan with the Abyssal Strike with the Spectre Step does not get him out. And Smile finds Puncture there, but not willing to commit either. They will retreat though when Haka uses the Shadow Blade Sorter to clear the lanes.
They need to re-strategize and focus more on the tip wise rather than the objectives, because we can see for a fact that Cheesy can definitely not win against Smile when it comes to retreat battle, as long as same level they have the same level in the EXP, and I don't know how they're going to deal with this, because we even have mid lane.
Yeah, Bloodbath coming in from Daiki there. Puncture enters, Dawn Rose, Phantom Execution. Fulfilled White will be the one to find Void Haka there. Cheesy coming in with Consecration and the Ionic Edge there, but he will not commit that. Airborne coming in from the Lantern Flare. Field Wife finding more stacks there on those minion waves. But back there on the X lane, Frau there, Spectre Strike from Super Saiyan. But back then on the mid lane as well, Zaman Force comes out from Super Hatred. The Spectres, the Chrono Dash, and Daiki will rotate up top to support the gold laner Harith. But Harith has already, I think Harith has come back there. But there's a gang coming up, cooking up here. Super Hatred gets there, caught by the Bloodbath. But the Purifier will get him out. That was a close one for Super Hatred, Stu.
Yeah, you can really see the amount of pressure that they're trying to put here on the gold lane, not giving him any chance. But looks like there's going to be a fight here in the mid lane.
Yeah, Crimson Bacon with the Lantern Flare. Puncture comes in from Smile. We'll find Void Haka, don't know Puncture. So Counter stacks maximum, but the Phantom Execution is used on Cheesy. A bit of an auto tap there. Missing out on Conquest and focusing on Cheesy instead. I'm sure Smile will be regretting the auto tap decision right now.
And just like I said, they don't have anything to deal with this Lancelot. I mean, just look at that. He was just dashing up and down. Nobody to, stun him or CC him or even petrify him or something. But we have them here taking the third total of the game. And then there is going to be a Grand Theft Purple going on here.
Yeah, Grand Theft Purple indeed. Turn Rose comes in. Cheesy in the middle of his stuff. Consecration already used though. The mobility will grant him more healing as well. But Super Saiyan comes back to the mid lane to defend there. Smile uses, not willing to use the Spectral Step though. Smile looking for an opening here with the minion waves though, but the minion waves are not coming through yet. Void Haka will clear with the Soul Spike and the Shadow Blade Stutter, but back there, Super Saiyan checking the bushes, making sure Frau already there's the Falling Star mode from Frau. But he will not commit to that one. Cheesy with the Ionic Edge. There's a 4-man gank going on here. Frau there with the Stardust Dance. But will not have enough skill to withstand the damage in Zaman Force. Daiki finds the cost of blood on Super Saiyan. Planet's Execution misses with retreat. Puncture comes in, Dawn Rose down as he releases Spectral Step from Super Saiyan. The Abyssal Strike will miss. Field Wife trying to support his teammate there. Already using the Consecration. Cheesy gets there for pulled back. Dawn Rose from Smile. But they will disengage from the fight. It's not worth it at this point. But back there, we can see the positioning of Burns though. We'll take out the tier 1 on the mid lane, as Oasis will push for the wave clear. Sword Spike, Shadow Blade Slaughter on Burns. But not finding that kill though. There's a Chrono Dash and the Synchro Fusion from the Harith. But Daiki already using the Zaman Force there. The Falling Star move comes out from Frau. But TZ will hold them off on behalf of Super Hatred. Both teams will retreat right now for the wave clear, Stu.
Yeah, we can see like I'm not trying to call it deja vu, but we can see like a trend that we saw in the first game, where the side of Oasis just had so much of an early lead that it looked absolutely hopeless for the side of Cartel. But right now you have to remember that they also have a Uranus here in the jungle that is paired with a Florine, and then the majority of the DPS that they do have is coming in from Vens, who you wouldn't really term as a tank killer in that kind of sense. So it's actually going to depend on Oasis on how quickly that they can actually end this game before the Uranus could scale up. But it looks like there's going to be a fight.
Yo,
Oh,
finally winning the retro battle. Cheesy gets that one. Thanks to the concentration mobility. Ionic Edge now on Daiki. But Daiki will get out with the bloodbath. Cause of blood comes in. Crimson picking with the lantern flare as well. For the sword spike and the shadow blade slaughter. More lantern flares for Super Saiyan. He will get out of there with the spectral step. But both teams will realize that the Lord is approaching right now and the wave clear matters more. Cheesy with the transcendent pass. Just like commit there. Get stunned. For Frau there, Cheesy not willing to commit as well. Daiki with the bloodbath. Frau there, getting more shields with a Stardust dance. But it's a contest of shield and healing there with the Uranus and the Esmeralda. Sustain versus sustain. A 9-4-9. Back down the EX grenade there. Puncture comes in. Front of execution will miss. Super Saiyan with the spectral step. But he will get out. Zaman Force with the continuous slow there. But Conquest will try to stop. Consecration comes in, Cheesy comes in to support and hold them off, being the front line for his team. But they will forfeit that engagement there and re-engage. But Cheesy wanting to invade instead. Cheesy really trying to become brave here, impulsive. You're not on the Fredrin, bro. You're on the Uranus and you can be killed. But then again, that's its engage. What do you think about this engagement, Emmy?
I don't know what happened in the Lord Pit with the Lancelot. He was actually what was the team fighting?
Well, Falling Star Moon comes in, but they will not commit that one more Stardust dance. But the concentration will get Cheesy out of there. The Lantern Flare as well to clear the lane. Super Hatred comes in to join the fun, but a little too late. Daiki, Synchro Fusion will miss on Daiki. But a little too late right now. Cartel are just trying to just invade the jungle, but Thundros is used from Smile there. The Synchro Fusion will connect onto Smile. Burns trying to peel here. Field wipe. The Cheesy will come in with the consecration there. Ionic Edge, but Burns will flicker out there. 7-4 already used because it's not slow, but the Falling Stamina and the Stardust dance in the middle of it all. There have been some strikes. Will make Frau surrender to death as Cheesy finds Field wipe. Super Hatred finds Daiki. El Cartel showing why they're on top no matter what they use. And no matter how many objectives they lose, Transcendent Path comes in. Void Hacker, they're low. But it's a fight. Phantom Execution will get
Wow.
out of there. With a puncture as well. Super Hatred will go down. A little bit of an extension there. Fans trying to defend as much as he can. But they will retreat there. Oh, getting a little bit of anxiety, anxious there. Cheesy might be a bit impulsive. Phantom Execution comes in from Smile. Trying to get puncture stacks here. But they will disengage from the team fight still.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just said it, but you can see that they actually have zero answers in sense of damage on how to deal with Cheesy here on this Uranus. He's just tanking, and every time that he gets low, we have Conquest just hitting him back up, and he's not going to be able to succeed in his Grand Theft Purple. But now the Lord has spawned. I believe it's Smile and Cheesy actually are on the same level here, so it's up to the mechanics of Smile to be able to secure this one in a retry battle, or it's going to be up to El Cartel to actually win them out in a fight before securing this objective.
Yeah, just waiting it out there with the Lord dance, but Cheesy already in the middle of it all. 1v5 there, Cheesy. Consecration trying to get him up with the cost of blood. Will stun him, Cheesy escapes. Crimson Pinker comes up with a lantern flare. Super Saiyan finds Daiki there. We have some strike for Field Wife. Will revenge for Roma. Phantom Execution comes out from Super Hatred. Trying to get out with the Synchro Fusion and the Chrono Dash. But Cheesy will find Frau. El Cartel, what are you guys on tonight? I can't believe it. They win that 1v5. That team fight was not supposed to go. Void Hacker finds Burn up top. But Super Hatred trying to get in with Chrono. That fight on Rose. But a little too early, just Smile. This one Spike misses, but the Shadow Play slaughter. Don't Rose. For the outplay. And Puncture. Kyrie Smile right now. In Nigerian Kara. The Nigerian Kyrie. I really don't know what this guy is. Thundros comes in. Phantom Execution for the Chrono Dash. Finds him finally. As El Cartel will win that one against Smile. Still.
Wow. No, you go first, Amy.
I don't know what's going on right now, but we're so used to the fact that El Cartel is usually on the back foot, and whenever it's the 10-minute marker, from there they just start causing a little bit of havoc here and there. And Oasis don't really have, just like Stu said, they don't really have the answer to these Uranus, sustain. And I mean, just look at that. Just he's just walking up into their front, using them to keep his stacks active and full, and they don't really have an answer to him. Before it was El Cartel not having an answer to the Lancelot, but now it's Oasis. We have a fight here.
And there's a fight up top. Cheesy will be put into the turret. There's just fight. Cannot slaughter. But Void Hacker will not commit to that one there. Cheesy just cutting the lanes here and just making sure he preserves those stacks of Radiance. He needs those heal there. The Lord will approach up top though. Already coming in with a puncture there. Don't Roses on the Lord. They want to take it out as soon as possible. Smile. But Cheesy up top, Don't Rose once more. Maximum soul cutter stacks, but it's in Bimtor pause. Cut up with the Lantern Peak and Super Hatred to the Chrono Dash and the Synchro Vision. Smile, Conquest still pushing that though. But I really don't think they can. El Cartels are looking like they might take this second game. Conquest Cheesy will push for that one there. Thundrose comes in from Smile. Smile trying to find the maximum soul cutter stacks. But the Bloodbath comes in from Daiki. They will push El Cartel out of their base though. El Cartel prioritizing the inhibitor tier 1. Conquest trying to take out tier 1 there. But Smile just dash on forth with the puncture. I really don't know what this Lancelot is on right now. He really want to put on a show. But they will disengage as they defend. Cheesy though, being a bit impulsive there, but they will disengage still.
Yeah, you can see all those impulses coming from the fact that nobody can kill you. You can dance as much as you like, and then by the time that you get low, well, Florin's right there. Conquest is actually going to prove your conquest against the enemy lineup and just heal you back up. And you can just tell when the player is actually having fun. And right now, Cheesy is having fun. But what do you think, Emmy?
We can see that the gold lead is not even something humongous. It's just a 2k gold lead. But they, even with a 4-man gank on the Cheesy, they don't even have an answer to him. They're not able to shut him down. And just like you said, once he gets low, we have Conquest coming in with his heal from his ult, and he's just going to heal him all the way back up. And then it's a rinse and repeat kind of scenario. Just look at that. Even Verns is not able to deal a lot of damage to Cheesy, and I don't know what Smile is trying to do here. Maybe he was trying to push into the bot lane, but we have Cheesy air on him, and we have Smile. This Lancelot is really trying, but he just doesn't have the damage necessary enough. We have a fight up top.
Yeah, up top there. Super Saiyan will miss that Abyssal Strike though. Not willing to use the Spectral Step from Field Wipe there. Field Wipe will poke with the Lantern Flare. Spy Dread comes in as well. Cheesy wasting that Retribution when the Lord is available on Field Wipe for Frau. I will need to get out of there. He does though, but back there on the gold lane, you can see Smile pushing there. He has his Retribution though, but Cheesy's own is on that cooldown. I don't know if that gives him an advantage, but we will see just how much advantage that gives him, Emmy.
I like the fact that he knows for a fact that they can't.
Puncture on Void Hacker there. But Daiki, who used to Synchro comes in with the Ionic Edge. Cheesy in the middle of it all. A bit of a confidence, a big cocky there. But Frau, the Lord is reset. And right now, Cheesy is in the middle of it all. Frau there. And Burns will flicker out for the Ionic Edge. Not enough range. Cheesy finds Burns. El Cartel is pushing for the end. Super Hatred with a Chrono Dash. Smile Red 3 Super Hatred to gain the mobility. But Haka will
my God.
A last minute move. Like I said, from Sebastian, the Torn and the puncture. But El Cartels are just spamming the recalls right now. Number 4, Super Hatred finds Field Wipe, and they will toy with them right now. It's a 4 for none trade in favor of El Cartel. Thundrose coming in. Smile with a sword spike. You really need to be careful there. Void Hacker, you need to be careful there. Smile with the Thundrose, but gets found by Super Hatred. They will push for the base though. El Cartel are still spamming the recalls. They will take out Frau. The Stardust dance is not enough to keep the game going, as El Cartel will keep the Gauntlet Road alive and move on to the next day.
I don't even know how you're supposed to deal with El Cartel at this point. You start at the game, and then the first minutes all the way to the 10th minutes, you're bashing them, you're beating them in every team fight, and then just one team fight, just one single mistake coming in from any member on your team, and then boom, you're on the back foot. You're getting decimated. You have cheesy all up in your face, and then just beating you up and doing everything to you. It's just amazing. How Air Cartel plays. They know for a fact how their comp works. They know how to go in, when to go back, when to fall out, when to take the objectives, when to push the lane, when to split push. All these things. They know it, and I'm really impressed by the gameplay that they are providing us in this Gauntlet 12, and I am really happy that I was here to to cast this match. Because this is a gameplay of pros right now, because they are doing well, and I GG's to Oasis too. They really tried. The Lancelot was there. He was really doing a lot of carry moves and all that, but it didn't really have a lot of damage to keep up with the heal and sustain coming in from the El Cartel team. And then the Irrital too was not able to do anything. The Esmeralda was a completely useless pick at this point, because we have him on 063, 3.8 KDA. The Aries that he was trying to, counter, he was not able to do anything against the Aries. Even the Uranus, he was not able to do anything against him. I would really blame that on the swap that was coming in from from Super Saiyan and Cheesy at the last stage of the game, and they were able to put the Uranus in the jungle, and that completely flipped the script on the Esmeralda, and she was completely useless in the team fights up until the mid game, and then still she was still useless. But yeah, still, what do you think?
No, no, no. I don't fault the Esmeralda pick here. I fault the build because
Uh-huh.
it's only when the game ended I've just noticed that the Esme is actually going for a damage Esmeralda, which is kind of surprising here considering the kind of lineup that she's up against, especially a Dyrot and a Harit and a Gusha. Now that's why she was not actually able to last in those fights and getting busted down.
Yeah.
And if you notice in the last fight here, Vens actually died to the damage of Blade Armor, trying to run away from Cheesy here. And you can also see that there is no Has Claws. There is a little bit of heal from the Rose Gold Meteor, but there isn't enough heal to sustain the damage that comes from beating your own self on a tank. And yeah, you can see that just those little inconsistencies, a big inconsistency by Frown here on the build, actually did have an effect on the game, and and it stacked up until they were not actually able to take this victory home. Yeah, but kudos to both teams. It was an amazing series to watch, and I'm definitely gonna be here for the next one because where there is the gauntlet, there is violence. And Black Matter, what are your final thoughts on the game?
Yeah, they really did well. Cheesy did so well for El Cartels. A very impressive play there from the Uranus. And I think I can finally stop calling him Fred Cheesy now and start calling him, maybe Uranus Cheesy or something. But yeah, also impressive play there from Smile. That puncture there with Sun throws, the untargetability, really knowing how to use it and when to use it. But unfortunately, the Harriet AOE, the synchro vision is something you cannot just easily escape. Found him there. But although I really think he's the real MVP, with the MVP loss, but still the MVP of Oasis for this second match. He really made sure he didn't go down without a fight. So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for having me on the stream tonight, Steel. Thank you so much for having me on the stream tonight, Emmy. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, make sure you guys like the stream, and thank you for showing up. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. on the Gauntlet stage.